Hello. Today we'll do The Glove and the Lions by the poet Leigh Hunt. So we'll read the poem. King Francis was a hearty king and loved a royal sport. And one day, as his lions fought, sat looking on the court. So King Francis was a hearty king. He was a very, he loved life. He was happy, he was full of energy, and he was a very energetic sort of person. And because he's full of life, he loved a royal sport. And the royal sport he has is to see his lions fighting. So the lions are fighting in a pit below, and there are bars on the pit, and lions are the kings among the beasts. So King Francis loved to see lions fighting, and he sat above them, above the pit, and he's looking on them fighting. And all his court, the court means all his ministers, all his nobles, all the ladies of the palace, they're all gathered there to watch the lions fight. So the nobles filled the benches, and the ladies in the pride, and amongst them sat the Count de Lodge with one for whom he sighed. So all the nobility filled the benches around the pit, and the ladies are dressed in beautiful, colorful, shining clothes. And among the nobility, among the noblemen, they sat the Count de Lodge. And the Count de Lodge was in love with one of the ladies of the court, and he sighed softly for her company. And truly, it was a gallant thing to see that crowning show, valor and love, and a king above, and the royal beasts below. So it was a magnificent thing to see the show which was going on. There was valor, there was bravery, there was the Count de Lodge who was brave, and he's in love, and there's a king sitting above him, and the lions are fighting below. So it was a magnificent thing to see. It was a gallant thing to see that. And in stanza 2, we're told, ramped and roared the lions with horrid laughing jaws. So the lions open their jaws wide, they roar and they jump, they ramp up and down, and, and their jaws are truly horrifying because they're full of sharp canine teeth, and they roar, they bit, they glared, gave blows like beams. The wind went with their paws. So they bit each other, they looked angrily at each other, they glared at each other, and each blow could have killed a man in less than a second. The blows were like beams, like a beam of wood which falls from the roof. So they gave blows like beams, and as they struck with their paws, the wind was fanned by the huge, powerful, sharp paws, claws of the lions. With wallowing might and stifled roar, they rolled on one another. So their might was so strong that they could roll around. They were such magnificent beasts, such huge beasts, that when they moved, they seemed to roll from side to side. They wallowed in their strength, in their might, and the roars were cut short by each other's blows. The roars were stifled, and they rolled on one another till all the pit with sand and mane was in a thunderous smother. So the pit in which the lions were fighting was in a thunderous smother. It was smothered by the sound of the lions, the blood, and everything. The bloody foam above the bars came whisking through the air. So the mixture of blood and spittle from the lion's mouths, it came floating through the air above the bars. Said Francis then, "Fate, gentlemen, were better here than there." So King Francis said, "It is true that they're above the pit and not in the pit below with the lions. It is better that they're above and watching the lions fight than to be in the pit with the lions." Delorge's love overheard the king, a beauteous, lively dame, with smiling lips and sharp, bright eyes, which always seemed the same. So the lady for whom Delorge sighed, the lady with whom Delorge was in love with, overheard King Francis, and she was a beautiful, lively dame. She was full of life, and her lips were smiling, and her eyes were sharp and bright. But they always had the same expression. The expression never seemed to change. She thought, "The Count, my lover, is brave as brave can be. He surely would do wondrous things to show his love for me." So she thinks that Count de Lodge is as brave as any man can be, and he would do wonderful things to prove his love for her. King, ladies, lovers, all look on, the occasion is divine. I'll drop my glove to prove his love, great glory will be mine. So all the nobility, including the kings, the ladies, and gentlemen of the court, are all looking on, and it's the perfect time, it's the perfect occasion. So she says that she'll ask Count de Lodge to prove his love for her by dropping her glove into the pit. And Count de Lodge should jump into the pit and retrieve her gloves to prove his love for her. She dropped her glove to prove his love. He then looked at him and smiled. So she dropped her glove into the pit and then looked at him meaningfully and smiled at him. In Count de Lodge, he bowed and in a moment leaped among the lions wild. So the Count acquiesces, he agrees, silently he nods and he bows, and in a moment he leaped into the pit in where the lions were fighting. The leap was quick, the return was quick, he regained his place. So he jumped in and out of the pit very quickly and he sat back in his place. Then threw the glove, but not with love, right in the lady's face. So he's proved how brave he is, but it was not suitable for the lady to make him prove his love like that. So she throws the glove without love right in the lady's face. "By God," said Francis, "rightly done." And he rose from where he sat. "No, not love," quoth he, "but vanity sets love a task like that." So King Francis says that Count de Lodge, by almost slapping the lady with her glove, which he had retrieved from the pit, that was rightly done. And King Francis rises from his throne and he says, "It's not love but vanity. Vanity is love of oneself that sets uh, a task like that to prove someone's love for her." Thank you.